All right, my guys. Now, measure solution performance. 8.1. Let's start. What's the purpose of this? Well, the purpose of measure solution performance is to define performance measures and use the data collected to evaluate the effectiveness of solution in relation to value it brings. So we're taking a step back and going like, okay, so this is a solution. How are we going to see if this solution is working or not? How do we decide if it's helping or not? How do we decide that it's bringing in the value we decided on, right? So description, performance measures determines the value of a newly deployed or existing solution. The measures used depend on the solution itself, the context, and how the organization defines value when solutions do not have built-in performance measures. A business analyst works with stakeholders to determine and collect the measures that will best reflect the performance of a solution. So basically, performance may be assessed through a key performance indicators, KPIs, aligned with enterprise measures, goals, objectives, values, and for a project. Process performance targets or tests for software application. We always have multiple options, right? It's kind of like the fucked up nature of a business analyst is let's complicate things as much as possible so people who don't know what they're doing don't know what we're doing. That way we secure a job and we end up saying stuff that sound like like we know what the fuck we're talking about, but ultimately we're winging it and making sure we eliminate every crappy thing that could lead to failure. It doesn't necessarily mean what we're doing would lead to success, though. So, what are the inputs? The inputs are business objectives and the implemented solution, which is basically, it keeps saying external here. Why though? A solution or component of a solution or a component that exists in some form. It may be an operating solution, a prototype, or a pilot or beta solution. But I think external is not something we're changing here. It's like we're bringing something from the outside to see if that helps with what we're trying to solve. And I don't know, man. Here's the diagram for it. Our guidelines are the change strategy, future state description, because we're still talking solution and planning and all that stuff. Requirements, the validated ones, and the solution scope. So we measure solution performance, and the outcome is the measures, basically, for solution performance. And we use this in analyzing current state and analyzing performance measures, what we did in Chapter 6. What are the elements we're using? We're defining solution performance measures. When measuring solution performance, business analysts determine if current measures exist or if methods for capturing them are in place. Business analysts ensure that an existing performance measures are accurate, relevant, and elicit any additional performance measures identified by stakeholders. I think the law of a business analyst is doubt everything. Don't trust anything, not even your work. Because even when you're doing something, you kind of have to distrust it and see, am I doing it correctly or not? Business goals, objectives, and business processes are common sources of measures. Performance measures may be influenced or imposed by third parties, such as solution vendors, government bodies, stakeholders, right? Or other regulatory or organizations. The type and nature of the measurements are considered when choosing elicited methods. Solution performance measures may be quantitative, qualitative, or both, depending on the value being measured. That kind of gets that. And quantitative measures are numerical, countable, or finite, usually involving amounts, quantities, or rates. Qualitative measures are subjective, which are basically based on perceptions, any other subjective response, customers, users, whoever's involved. It's like maybe it just makes people feel good, right? It's one of those like, I own the work. It's still the same stress that you're going through, but I feel like it's mine. I don't know. Validate performance measures. Validating performance measures helps to ensure that the assessment of solution performance is useful. Business analysts validate the performance measures and any influencing criteria with stakeholders. Specific performance measures should align with higher level measures that exist within the context affecting the solution. Remember, what we're doing is we're always like, we're targeting something beyond what we're doing right now. So like whatever we're deciding on, if this is, yeah, because we're looking at a solution and we're going like, is this something that leads to success in the solution or not? Effectively, what we're doing is we're pushing and saying like, okay, this solution works, and to see if it works, or does the solution work, and to see if it works, it should work within this context because it contributes to this, the bigger. We're here, it contributes to something higher, right? Anyways, and then after that, we collect the performance measures, volume or sample size, frequency and timing, currency, depending if it's cash oriented or not. Like, how are we measuring a solution to be correct or not? Sometimes it's just pure profit, right? Or sales, or an increase in sales. And it's just defining performance measures. Business analysts may employ basic statistical sampling concepts, right? We're just kind of like, depending on what is the feedback that we're looking for, quantitative or qualitative, but mostly we're just kind of we should always maybe try to quantify our data. And whether it's quantifying it through efficiency or effectiveness, you kind of have to like do that. But I'll dive deep into that at some point in the future. Guidelines and tools, change strategy. The change strategy used or in use to implement the potential value. Sorry, my bad. I keep reading these because of the habit. Future state description, requirements validated, and the solution scope. These are the guidelines and tools. What are the techniques we use? Acceptance and evaluation criteria, benchmarking and market analysis, business cases, data mining, decision analysis, focus groups, metrics and key performance indicators, non-fictional requirements analysis, observation, prototyping, survey or questionnaire, use cases or scenarios, vendor assessments. And when it comes to the stakeholders, we have the customer, the end user, project manager, the sponsor, the regulator, and the domain subject matter experts. What are the outputs? Solution performance measures. Yay. Yeah, let's jump to the other